Malcolm and Marie, as a filmmaker and his girlfriend return home from his movie premiere, smoldering tensions and painful revelations push them toward a romantic reckoning. And here is our cast, director, and it is a drama and independent movie. It is a Netflix movie. It is an hour and 46 minutes. It came out this year. And here is what I thought about this film. Look at them. Aw. So, Malcolm and Marie. Was it a good film? I'm going to say I enjoyed watching it. I like the story. I like the dialogue and the chemistry between John David Washington and Zendaya was actually, it was there. There was a concern before watching this that age difference between the two of them would be like some, awkward, chemistry. It would lead to some awkward chemistry between the two because, he's a lot older than she is in real life. But I saw the chemistry. It worked. So I was, all the way reeled in. So when you're watching this film, the opening scene is when, it appears that they're coming from some type of event. And the way they set the scene up is that you're on the outside looking into their home, like you're looking through the window. So, and the scene is like this for a good 5 minutes. And, when I'm watching it, I'm thinking, oh my God, I hope this film isn't set up in a way where the audience is just going to be on the outside of the house and never be brought in. But, they bring us in with a bowl of macaroni. Not a bowl, but she's in the process of pouring like some macaroni into some hot water or whatever. And that's when they bring the audience into the actual scene of, where the characters are. So the movie is kind of like a fishbowl. You don't go anywhere, but you just stay in this house. And it's just, two characters. That's it. And they talk about the event that they just came from, so you have to kind of visualize it as they talk about it in their dialogue with each other, because it's the event that has caused all this conflict and this tension, and this is the reason we are watching this movie, to see how and why Zendaya character Marie is coming in all mad. And it unfolds, and she tells us why she's upset. And this is a spoiler alert. So, the event that they just came from is, I would say, maybe something along the lines of Sundance. I don't know. Malcolm is a film director, writer, whatever. He showed his film, it got all this praise, and he had a speech. In this speech, and this is the event that they discuss while they're at home. In this speech, he thanks everyone but his girlfriend. And it's not that it's because she was looking for a thank you because she's his girlfriend. Throughout the, film, you learn that the film that he made is pretty much based on her actual life. She was his muse, his inspiration, someone who was there with him through the writing process, reading his drafts, all of that through thick and thin, being that supportive girlfriend. And also being someone he was inspired by to write the story. The story is about someone who had an addiction, went to rehab, and had all these issues with that struggle. his girlfriend, Marie, struggled with that in her life. So she felt the way when, he goes to thank everyone but her in the night that's supposed to catapult his career into something, he, always wanted. So that's the big thing. That's the conflict. That's why she's mad. And throughout the movie, the dialogue goes into the struggles of how a black filmmaker feels when they get reviewed on their body of work. So, that's another added on layer to the conflict. That's the conflict that, you would have to pull out of, what was actually being said versus just watching them argue with each other tit for tat. There's another issue that, black filmmakers go through when, they're trying to be successful and they get heavily criticized. Their work get politicized, and he talks about how he hates that his film couldn't just be looked at as a film about someone that was struggling with an addiction. He talks about some critic that always politicize films and make it more about race. And that's one of the struggles that I think a lot of people, a lot of black filmmakers may go through. So, that's something to think about when they talked about that in the movie. So I was like, okay. So, so the film has you go through this argument, right? And there are moments where they make up and you think they're about to just, have a good night, have sex, and go to sleep. But no, it goes right back to the conflict. They throw some heavy jabs at each other. And you're like, okay, when is this night going to end? And like, is it gonna end on a positive note? And when it got to the end of the movie, Zendaya's character Marie, she's upset and she goes back to the whole conflict of it all was the fact that he didn't thank her, and she gives a speech, so to speak, of what she wished she had said when he gave his speech about, I guess, at the event or whatever. And Malcom is very apologetic. He loves this woman and he talks about his love for her, throughout their whole argument that they were having in the film. So they ended where they both go to bed. It's the next day and Marie is nowhere to be found, right? You think she might have left him, right? But no, she didn't leave him. She's just outside gazing at something, and he joins her and he stands next to her, and then the movie ends. So now you wonder, like, was it really, the movie was, I think the character had to get how she felt about that evening out and just express it as long as she wanted to express it because it made her feel a way. And Malcom, I feel like he really loves her. The way that he talked about how he felt about her, I feel like they can make it. So I feel like it was just a big argument that we were just tuned into behind the scenes on what it would be like had this actually happened to someone that it had this actually happened, to a couple that you knew. You're pulled behind the walls of a couple's, of them fighting and just going at each other's throats and all of that. That's what it was. And now they go into the next day where, they got it off their chest. And now it's a new day. It's time to, make up finally. I feel like Marie had to have her night to express how she felt because, she had every right to be upset about him not thanking her when she was the inspiration to this film. So, to me, I want to say that this film was entertaining. It kept me reeled in. It kept me pulled in. And anytime you can keep me pulled into a film, then, it's a good film. I want to give the rating of this film a solid B-. And I want to say it's a B- because, it's just a simple story. It's nothing too deep. And the characters, the actors they're very talented. So they really keep you interested in this film just because they're acting so great in this movie. And the cinematography is on point. I loved it, and I loved the soundtrack. It was nicely done. So, I think if you are looking for a movie to watch, something you haven't seen, and you like both, if you are a fan of Zendaya and John David Washington, you will enjoy this film. And I appreciate you for watching this review. It was something quick that I wanted to throw up and just talk about. And so thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye.